Hello, friends out in Facebook land. I have been just started reading this book that I found the title intriguing. It's called God Online, A Mystic's Guide to the Internet by Bruce Epperly. It looks like this. For years, I've heard people talk about the evils of technology and how divisive technology and social media in particular have become. And I really can't say that I have disagreed with them very often, but I have always been pulled back to what could the internet be used for in good ways, and how can we utilize this form of communication to build hope, to build unity, to build trust, to show faithfulness to God. And while some could easily demonize the internet and use it for evil purposes, what I've been trying to do in these devotionals and church and all kinds of other things is to use the internet for good. And so this book, God Online, Mystic's Guide to the Internet, is helping me to process that a little bit. What does that look like? And I wanted to share a little bit about what I learned this morning related to that. So there's something called the examine, or the examination of conscience, that goes all the way back to this Catholic priest called Ignatius of Loyola. And so he's the parent of all the Jesuits. And so this is something that people work through every day to kind of examine our spiritual lives as we go through the day. And so Bruce Epperly has decided that he's been trying to figure out a way to do this the examination of conscience, in relation to social media, which I find both intriguing and inspiring. And I want to share some of his thoughts with you. So Bruce says to think about these types of things. So after you would take a moment of silence, opening to the divine wisdom, you focus on this list. Gratitude for God's presence in our life and throughout the day. Then we contemplate gratitude of the internet and social media. Areas in which we have experienced God's intimacy throughout the day. Areas in which we have experienced God's nearness on the internet and social media. Areas in which we have strayed from God's vision throughout the day and in our use of the internet and social media. Commitment to following God's vision for our life, especially our use of the internet and social media. Prayerful placement of our future in God's care, asking for divine guidance in the day ahead. Prayer for ways to use the internet for the glory of God and the well-being of our neighbor. And discernment of a concrete and active step we can make to be more faithful to God's vision for our involvement in the internet and social media. Then after we have contemplated these things, he suggests that we pray this prayer. God of technological creativity, whose wisdom and imagination embodied in human creativity gave birth to social media, awaken me to your vision of shalom. Let your planetary vision guide my interactions on the internet and social media so that every message glorifies you and brings truth and beauty to those with whom I communicate. I give thanks for my social media friends and pray that they may experience your joy in their lives. Bless my fingers as I type, trusting your loving wisdom to be much greater than my own. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O God, my companion, guide, and inspiration. Amen. We're now spending so much time online. How can we make the time that we spend online meaningful and full of love and joy, that we may not only increase in our discipleship, but that we may be an encouragement to others? What are the things that we need to look away from or stop feeding ourselves negative messages on? And what are the things that we need to gravitate towards? I believe that that's an act of faithfulness in our time. I'm going to be working through this book, and as I find highlights, I would love to share them with you. And I hope that it's encouraging for you too, because if you're watching me on Facebook, then that means you're on Facebook too, or YouTube as well. And so surely, like me, a little guidance on navigating these things in holy and sanctified ways would be helpful for us all. So I hope that you're having a great day. I hope that your interactions with God or on God's behalf through social media are uplifting, are peace-filled, joy-filled, encouraging blessings to you and to others. I love all of you deeply. Have a great rest of your day.